Now let's see a new algorithm. This is highest response ratio next. So what it means is we have a response ratio which is calculated by this formula. Response ratio is equal to W plus S divided by S. What is W? So where W is equal to waiting time of a process at time T. Okay, and what is S? S is burst time of that process. So this is the formula we have to use in order to find which process to execute next. And you can see that when the burst time will be small, so response time will be large, and it can be scheduled because highest response time, that's what we are looking for. Okay, so it will favor for lowest burst time. Also, when you have large waiting time, so because this is in numerator, when the value will be large in numerator, so this value will come large. So if waiting time is also large, so it will favor, this algorithm will favor that value also. Okay, so that means this HRRN not only favor shorter jobs. Why? Because when the value at denominator is small, so this whole value will come large. Okay, so it not only favor shorter jobs but also limits the waiting time of the longer job. So if a job is longer, then waiting time is also limited. Why? Because if W is large, then also it will become, the whole value will become large. So that's why it limits the waiting time. After a particular time period of waiting, that process needs to be scheduled because that response ratio will become large. Let's understand this by an example. Let's say this is the table given to us, and now they are asking what will be the all parameters like turnaround time, waiting time, response time, CPU utilization or throughput if we use HRRN algorithm. So let's see. So we have to draw the Gantt chart first. At time 0, only one process is available, and remember that we have not talked about preemptive or non-preemptive here. So if not given, then we will assume it is non-preemptive. Okay, so this is non-preemptive only. Now in longest remaining time or shortest remaining time, they do not say non-preemptive or preemptive, but we know that longest remaining time or shortest remaining time is also called preemptive shortest job or preemptive longest job. So that means if they specifically said longest remaining or shortest remaining, that means they need not to say it is preemptive. It is obviously preemptive only. Okay, now coming back to this question, P0 we do not have any other choice at time 0, so we will schedule P0 without looking any response ratio. So till 4 burst time, since it is non-preemptive, we will schedule it till 4 and P0 is over. So this is over. Now at time 4 this is available, and at time 3, at time 4 this is available, and no other process, because this will be available at 6, 9 and 12, and we are at 4 time only, so only P1 is available. So there is no comparison of response ratio, so we will schedule P1 directly. For what time? Whole 8 time. So that is till 12 P1 and P0 is scheduled. Now when time 12 will come, this is also available, this is also available, and this will also available. All three are available. Now which one to schedule? P2, P3, P4. Now the criteria says that we have to schedule according to highest response ratio. We have to calculate the response ratio of each of these process. So now let's say RR, response ratio of 2. So this process is, what is W? So at 12 time, what is the waiting time of P2? So it is arrived at 6 and we are at 12. So waiting time is 12 minus 6. So W is 6. plus its burst time is 6. So 6 plus 6 divided by 6, it is 2.0. What is the response ratio of process 3? So it is arrived at 9 and we are at 12. So how much time it has waited? 12 minus 9. So that is 3 plus what is the burst time? 7 divided by its burst time, which is S, and it becomes 10 by 7, which is equivalent to 1.43. Similarly, if you do response ratio of 4, that is it arrived at 12 and we are at 12 only. So how much time it has waited for? 0. Whereas its burst time is 3. So this is 3 by 3, which is 1. So now you can see which one is highest, 2, 1.43 or 1. Obviously this 2. Okay, so we will schedule P2. So P2 will be scheduled for time 6. Whole time will be scheduled. So this is over. Now at time 18, so this you can see waiting time of a process at time t. So this t is at 18. So how much time it has waited for? So now we have to calculate the response ratio of P3 and P4. So let's see, response ratio of 3 is equal to, what is W? 18 minus its arrival time, this is 9. So 9 plus its burst time, that is 7 divided by burst time, that is 9 plus 7 divided by 7, that is 2.29. And response ratio of fourth process P4, that is, now see, at time 18 and it arrived at 12. So how much time it has waited? From 12 to 18, that is 6. So 6 plus its burst time is 3 divided by burst time, that is 9 by 3, and it is 3.0. Which is highest? Obviously this one is highest. So we will choose P4 now. And how much time we have to schedule? For 3 time. This is till 21. This is over. And now only one is remaining. So we will schedule it for whole time, that is till 28. Okay. This is the Gantt chart. And now if you have to calculate all other things, you already know how to calculate it. So let's see. So this is completion time, start time, turnaround time, waiting time, response time. Now completion time from this side. So P0 is completed at 4. P1 is completing at 12. P2 is completing at 18. P3 at 28 and P4 at 21. Starting time 0, 4, 12, P3 21 and P4 18. Turnaround time, completion time minus arrival time, that is 4 minus 0 is 4, 12 minus 3 is 9, then 18 minus 6 is 12, 28 minus 9 is 19, and 21 minus 12 is 9. Waiting time, that is turnaround time minus burst time. So 4 minus 4 is 0, 9 minus 8 is 1, 12 minus 6 is 6, 19 minus 7 is 12, 9 minus 3 is 6. And response time, start time minus arrival time. So 0, 4 minus 3 is 1, 12 minus 6 is 6, 21 minus 9 is 12, and 18 minus 12 is 6. So response time and wait time in this case is same, but not always the case. Okay. And what is CPU utilization? See, no gap. So total useful time 28, total time 28, multiply by 100, that is 100%. And throughput is easy. Throughput is total processes 5 divided by total time 28. Okay. This is how we can solve HRRN algorithm. Thank you.